Welcome back to the Whiskey Couch here in sunny South Africa with me, GUSTAV MULLER, as your host. Today's video is a summary of the 4 single grain whiskies that I reviewed in the past couple of days. So I am going to give you just a summary, some of the highlights of what I found in these 4 single grain whiskies, and then I will reveal what is my personal number 1 out of the 4. So 3 of them you can see right here. It is the Octave Gerwin from Scotland, single grain, the Cheetah single grain from Japan, as well as the NIKKA coffee grain from Japan. And the other one is here behind me, the 18-year-old green or single grain from Ireland. So let's start with the first one. The first one that I reviewed was the Octave Gerwin. And what a spectacular single grain from Scotland, from the Girvan distillery. What I liked most of that whiskey was the cask strength, 51.7%, the full bodied experience, the richness, the creaminess, and that cask strength that just delivered a fantastic palate and also nose. So a spectacular single grain from Scotland, 51.7%. And also what really struck me was the slight sherry note because of the extra 9 months maturation in the Octave X sherry casks. Spectacular single grain whiskey. The second one that I reviewed, oh yes, and I paired the Octave Gerwin with Madeira cake with vanilla custard. The second one was the Cheetah single grain from the Cheetah distillery in Japan. Very different compared to the Octave Gerwin. In the Cheetah single grain, a light, a floral, a smooth, a fruity, and a sweet, and a youthful, a very youthful whiskey. So very, very different. The alcohol ABV was 43%. So very different also in that respect. And I paired the Cheetah with a vanilla wafer stick, and the pairing was quite good. When I did the review on that, on the Cheetah single grain. The third one that I reviewed was the NIKKA coffee grain whiskey distilled at the Miyagiko distillery, part of the NIKKA brand. The ABV on this one, I can't remember, I think it was also 43% or 46%. But what I liked about this whiskey was the richness. It was rich and it was full-bodied, and it was this is a complex whiskey. The main components of the flavor profile was the richness, the vanilla, the honey, and that interesting slight licorice note on the palate. That was quite intriguing, and I paired this one with white chocolate with apricot. Fantastic pairing. And then the last one that I did was the green or 18-year-old here behind me from the Cooley distillery when it still belonged to John Teeling. Creme brulee and apple pie. That was my summary for the green or single grain, and I paired that one with white chocolate coated almonds, and that was also a very good pairing. So what is my personal number 1? First of all, I will have to say that I must disqualify the green or 18 years because I realized I cannot compare an 18-year-old whiskey with the 3 here in front of you. So otherwise that one would have taken the prize, but it is simply not fair to do that. So I'm taking that one out of the picture. So looking at these 3, I would have said that the Octave Gerwin is my number 1. But now then again, because of its availability, it was bottled specifically for a shop in Johannesburg, South Africa, and that'll also be unfair to make that my number one. So I'm left with the NIKKA coffee grain and the Cheetah, and between those two I will definitely say that the NIKKA coffee grain is my number one single grain whiskey when considering these four, and I've taken you through my reasoning which will help you to understand why I picked the NIKKA coffee grain as my number one. And that is what I've got in the glass here, NIKKA coffee grain, and I'm going to enjoy this one. Slanger, I hope to see you again tomorrow when I start a brand new series. So lots more whiskey tasting and food pairing reviews to come. Slanger.